force it. If you're up $300, man, just log off and enjoy your day. Like $300, that's $1,500 a week times 4, man, that's 6 grand. 6 grand, especially for some of you that have a job, that you have W-2 and you have another cash inflow. There's no reason. I mean, go ask your boss to give you 72K raise and see what he responds. Most likely the answer is going to be fuck off, right? So I don't know why you guys are greedy so bad to become a millionaire or wealthy overnight. It's not going to happen, man. It really is not. And I don't know how else to put it to you guys, but you really have to look in the mirror and just be honest with yourself. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I keep taking trades. And I'll bring up Yankee for a moment. I mean, you're up $13,000 in 2 days and you're over trading. You're supposed to protect your capital and size down completely when you're up that nicely. What do I do? And what do I tell you guys I do when I'm up nicely? What do you guys see when I send you screenshots? Do you see 50, 10 ES? You see one.
Yep.
And that's small for me, but maybe it's big for you guys. So if one ES is big, what should you do? Go to MES, right? Go to MNQ. If you're trading SPX, go trade SPY, or literally don't even trade, just watch. Or don't even watch, just log off, and there's plenty of other things you could do. Whether you like being outside, read a book, go do something useful, right? Maybe not social media, whatever that for. I'm not gonna judge you what you do, but just go do something else. Being on charts nonstop is not as beneficial as some of you might be. Some of you guys are really good technical people, but your mental state's still not there, and you guys just keep digging into it. Whether you're on funded accounts or whatever the case is, even if you're not, and you keep blowing up accounts, I mean, I just don't get it. At one point, you really have to sit down and be honest with yourself. What is it? Write down the 10 things that you do over and over. Find the reasons, eliminate one by one. If you don't admit them, who will admit it for you? You want your kids to admit you're trading? Come on. Like that's none of their business, right? I mean, you're an adult, you should be responsible for your actions, right? So some of you guys need to tighten up that, right? I mean, to me, it just doesn't make sense, right? It's almost like you guys are drug addicts, honestly. Well, I mean, that's how I see it. And I mean, if you need help, you might need some more like psychiatry. You might need a psychiatrist to talk to, right? Because I just don't get it. Some of you guys make decent money and then you blow it away. Just imagine if you have somebody gives you 13K cash and you take it and you put it in a fire pit.
Damn, though.
Like, would you do that? Like, why would you do that? Like, I just really I have a hard time conceptualizing some of that. Like, I think a lot of you guys lost the touch with the money, and you guys see these big profits. Like $13,000 is a big amount of money for 2 days. That's crazy amount of money. And you blow half of it because you want more. That honestly, that's just greediness. And if you're struggling with that, maybe just read like many of you probably haven't read it, but like read books like Beyond Greed and Fear. Mark Douglas is good, but if that's not helping, then you might have to find a hobby that's not only self-help books, but find something to do that's not trading. I don't know what that is. I don't know, go make something out of wood. Go find something to do to interest you and look
What
about.
book was that you said,
Called
Shorty?
Beyond Greed and Fear. I'll post
Beyond
it.
Greed and Fear?
Yeah, Beyond Greed and Fear. It's a really
Thanks.
good book.
Thank you.
Let me see. I don't know if I have a PDF. I have a physical copy, but I don't know how it was actually where. Let me see. I think I might have it.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's a really, really good book for some of you guys. I mean, you might find it to be a good book. It's a scholar, it's an academic book, right? But you guys might find a lot in it. One of my professors way back actually, she was heavily involved with the book itself as well. So, and she understands it pretty well, and she would preach this a lot. So I suggest some of you guys read it. And then, I mean, even if you guys meet, create a little group. I see some of you guys are on a 60-day policy, on a 1 day, 1 trade per day. I mean, sit down and, I mean, what does it hurt you to be like, hey guys, let's set up on Saturday and just talk with the issues. And you guys literally, I have an issue with this, and get the feedback from each other. And like, if you read the book, discuss it, right? Like, talk about it. So I really think some of you guys have to be open to that, and open to being criticized, but in a good way, right? Not somebody blowing you up, right? Because you did something. But get some help, right? Either, I've done a lot of one-on-ones with people that keep doing the same stuff over and over, and the same thing that everybody else telling you, I would probably tell you the same thing, right? And I don't mind doing them, guys. Don't get me wrong, but it's not fair that I'm putting a lot of time, but you keep doing the same thing over and over, right? So I would definitely, find a hobby. I think that will help you the most. Whether it's, what do you guys see me sometimes do? And I send you guys pictures. I go cook a meal. I'll go grill a steak when I'm done. Takes my mind off trading. I'm outside enjoying my time and keep it moving, right? And a lot
Yeah.
of you guys are just staring at the screen. Sometimes too much of something is also bad, right? Even if it's screen time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I say you guys stop that a little bit, right? Find something else healthy to do instead of just staring at it. All right, well, let's see what they did, right? So obviously they tried to pump over, pre-market, and I think we were live when I said I'm short. I don't know. I think we were last night. Weren't we somewhere here? Yeah, we were here. We were somewhere around here, and I said, yeah, I'm short, and this was my zone, and I was able to catch some nice points overnight. And then they came in here, and I really thought that they're going to run it back up. I had a strong feeling that they might run it back up, and they basically came back to the structure low here, and then they, at 11 o'clock, they just had this massive sell-off. Actually, I stepped away for a moment, and then they had this massive. I mean, this is really aggressive selling, right? And then you see them they started buying here aggressively on the footprints, and I was giving you guys pretty much step by step what's happening and how many traps they set and how they set them. And then you see this. I mean, you're talking about, you know, 30 points plus like 35 points up front here from here to here, and that was pretty good, right? So if you're able to catch some of this, that was it, man. You didn't have to go heavy, and some of you guys went from red to green on some of these moves, and that's good to see, right? Because it shows you exercise patience, right? You're waiting and waiting, and finally clicked, and you took the trade. Some of you guys had 3 stop losses, but then you took a really good trade, 3-1, and it worked out in your favor, and that's really good. A lot of you guys, if you're scalping, have that mindset that you sometimes you have to take profits quicker, especially when you see the shit price action that we had
Oh
and,
yeah.
and open in the morning. They were not giving much, and they were
Yeah.
not really forgiving this morning, guys. They were just,
You
I
gotta
mean,
be
look at this price
sniping.
action right here, guys.
Yeah.
When you see something like this, 35, I mean, it looks like a clean 25 points, but this is not very clean 25 points, I would say. I
Mm-mm.
mean, if you just look at it, zoom out a little bit here, this is not very clean. Like, there's a lot of wicks, a lot of stop loss runs are hit, and then they would pump it, then they drop it like it's not really there. I mean, it was a difficult day for a lot of traders that are not familiar with, how they can get you out, what's their ideal, where is the trailing stops, and then knowing the type of range that you're in. A lot of people today, when you just look at the day here, let me go back to regular. Here's your trading day here. I mean, does this look like it's a trend day? Is this a trend day?
Range
No.
day.
No.
Yeah, this is honestly, this is almost like a typical day, more to,
Extended
for
typical day.
hours. No, they didn't really extend the range. I mean, when you think about it, this
Yeah.
high was set here at noon.
Oh yeah.
Then, they didn't really break this, right?
No. No.
To me, this is a typical leaning more into sideways because it spent a lot of time in this shit range here. That's, I mean, you're
Yeah.
talking about 10 points,
Yeah.
right? So if you stepped away and you didn't trade, you won. That's actually a good trait to have. So when you think about tomorrow, what actually changed? Did anything change? When you think about the levels, well, here, I mean, you really have to auction now above 30. Ideally, you want to take out this right here, this level where you got a strong rejection, right? So that would be this volume node, and that would be a potential short level. So if they're able to reclaim this, they can potentially run this to 43 and then target the 50, right? So I would wait to see how we auction here. If we come back, then look for long opportunities, right? And you see on the volume nodes itself here, if they're able to crack this, I guess below the PVPOC here, and slightly below, somewhere around here, I would say, what is this, 22 and a half? There's a high chance that they're probably going to fill this all the way down and hit this, the 14, 15 level that was hitting pretty much all day. This area is still fairly important here, and I'll just move this so it matches. Let me go in 30 minutes. So here's your PD value area high. You're still not able to crack it. If you do crack below this POC that we have here at, what is it, 43.20, I would say that's good enough for probably a good short all the way. I would target somewhere in this range between 8 and 06 again. Your PD value area low shifted, your value area high shifted greatly here from the top. The POC shifted as well. So I would definitely target somewhere lower if this breaks. Today, when you think about actually what happened in the market, right? Before market, did we build value above 43.50, the June value area low? Not really. They came in and aggressively sold off. So what does it tell you about this level?
Strong high.
Yeah, very strong high. There's no interest to go auction right now. If they're not interested in auctioning here, you're going to need initiative buying once we come here, take this level out. Next time you come and break this level, it's probably going to go. Next time you break this level, there's a high chance that you're going to fly, okay, to the downside. But then just keep in mind that you have this huge volume node here still that was being respected, and you had some single prints right here on the bottom probably. I would definitely target somewhere around here first if you're going to go, and then you have 42.70. Most likely you'll catch some kind of reaction. But if we break this float today that we had, the PDL on this level right here, there's a high chance that we're just going to sell off. You're not looking to catch knives, right? Especially if you're auctioning lower and if you have footprints and you're looking at there's massive selling. Don't be so excited at buying every dip, right? We are in a bracketed market, right? So if you just kind of zoom out here, this is just a bracket. You can count this 1, 2, 3, 4, pretty much 5 days now. You're in bracket. There's not much going on, right? And people are freaking out. Like I see Twitter and I'm just like, wow. And people posting these levels that are, oh my God, I'm buying 18, getting out at 20. You're going to do that a few times till the market teaches you a lesson, right? When you're in a bracketed market, market's telling you we haven't found value higher, we haven't found value lower. That means whenever it drops here, there's somebody that's coming in and defending that. So treat it as that until it no longer works, right? And that's kind of what I always tell you guys. And it might sound easy, but if you just think about it, today, when you reclaimed the previous week value area low, what did I say when I was on live? I recall saying if it reclaims that 4308 and it's in your chat, there's a strong chance that they're most likely going to run it 20. And I mean, they just took off, guys. They're ready for it. And look at this. They came in, dipped, and it just went flying. And then when you look at it on the daily profile, on daily candles, lower high, lower low. Remember what I said the day before on this candle here when people were excited that we were framing up, meaning higher high and higher low? I said this is bullshit. It does not count. It didn't make sense, right? You're having a tail long shadow on the top and you had some aggressive seller come in here on low volume. So now until you're able to kind of clean up this, you're most likely going to test this 84 level here, 80, 84 level to see if we can go higher. Getting inside September value area low is going to be super important. If they're able to auction here and hold this 43.77, it's going to be bullish, and I would expect us to hit this 44, 17, 20, probably the same day. Okay. And I think this is the new calendar. Yeah, it is. There's a new icon on it. Okay, well, this is going to be fun tomorrow.
Hey,
It
Shorty.
might take us a couple days to get up there, though, right?
Well,
Shorty?
no, I mean,
September Valley area low.
they can pump this probably within a day or less, depending on what these guys says, and then you have the job openings tomorrow.
And again,
Hey, Shorty. Out of the past 5 days, that 43.05 for the most part has been the value low 3 out of 5 days.
Yep.
For the most part.
That's correct.
So
if you go here, it's been here, it's been here, and then I would say it's very close. Yeah, here, point or two away, 3 days. Right?
Yep.
It's a big level, right? So I would expect them to defend that. I mean,
so if it breaks above that, we can assume that we should probably get 15 points or so.
Yeah, seems like they did it every time. Yeah, they did it every time. And I mean, you just simply have to look at this on a balance, right? So the balance that you're in, look where you are right now. I'm ignoring this day because that's the day where we had the massive sell-off, the wide range. Let's say we ignore it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just hide this for a moment and look what's happening here. Let me just increase this guy here. And look where you are right now. So do you really want to short right now, right here? I don't know. It'd be really tough to short for me above this level here. And a lot of people are looking for a knife, right? Oh, we're going to dump here. But the market's really telling you right now, we are slowly ready to climb. So if you're able to just look at this liquidity zone, I mean, I haven't seen a distribution this clean in a while. If you think about in terms of bell curve, this is pretty freaking good.
So we're slowly getting ready to climb. Why? Because we have higher lows?
Well, I mean, you have higher lows, and then if you look at footprints, there's a lot of buying, and here you're on a 4-day POC. You just climbed above it.
Today's heavily bullish then on the delta?
I'll show you. So if you look here, you're above the 4-day POC, and you're rejecting this PD value area high. Once you crack this, what's in between now? Not much.
Not much, yeah.
So I'm pretty sure if you crack this, you're probably heading here to 40. If you crack 40, I had this level. I don't even know what I marked today here. If you crack over 40, you're hitting 50, 55 zone again. So you have two really good trades, and you should not fuck this up. You have this one here, and I would say that's pretty good. 10 points, guys, 10 points, 10 points. If you don't like 10 points, you're going to learn hard way that you're going to like it. 10 points is a lot of money. If you can live 10 points for the rest of your life, you'll be happy. And you have this zone right here, right? So I would definitely watch, just because there's a little bit of a, I would say like a little SR flip off of this first sigma here. And, you want them to auction higher, take this liquidity out. So you need to see a full body candle break here. They will give you a retest, I promise. They will give you a retest on something like this. And they defended it here. They defended it. They come here, let them, I would not look to short too much unless they go above and fail. But if they go above, your first instinct is, especially if this is taken out here, this previous high, they take this out, with the full body candle, let them come back, and this becomes your little zone for buying then, right? And I'm telling you this, and I don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow, but high probability that we're going to hit this tomorrow. And I can't control the news, right? If any of these, if he comes in and says, fuck the soft landing, we're going to have a hard landing, strong chances that nobody's levels are going to matter, and somebody on Twitter is going to tell you, we told you so, right? So you cannot control the news and the way they're going to sell off. They trigger the algos with certain words, with language, and if they're ready and prepared, they can do whatever. I mean, how many times have you seen shit earnings and companies goes to the moon,
Yeah.
right? It's a binary event, and you really don't have business trading it. So if you're a gambler, you're gonna trade tomorrow during these times, and if you're a normal human being, you'll just sit and watch, right? If you see them break a level, come back, don't size up, don't go, like an idiot, 10 ES, trade minimal. Put maybe, if you see a really good opportunity, a really good setup, small quantity, 1 MES, 1 MNQ, and trade it that way and see if it works. But that doesn't mean increase the size by tenfold next time. It's still a binary event, right? Don't forget that, right? Your goal is to preserve the capital and be on the table, right? The quicker you spend this, right, your money, the less chance you have to be on a table. Your goal is to be a player, right, and sit. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right, let's see what they got here. So I'm just gonna go into ES TPO here. Golly, I hate this brown color. I don't know why
really
this
quick,
defaults on the brown fucking color. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Island, was it you?
yeah. I was gonna ask you, on your previous chart, just like how you would play the break above PD value area high. Like for instance, like if I trade 5 minute chart, would you look for a full body break above PD value area high, taking it long, then using the low of that candle as your stop loss, or would you wait for it to go up and like
You
retest?
can
I mean,
definitely do that. I prefer to, when I look at stop losses, and you guys should know this by now, I hide behind the shelves all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like candles and stuff, but how many times here? I mean, I've shown you multiple times that candles lie.
Mm-hmm.
Like here.
What
This looks like a peak candle here. I mean, just look at it. Like even if you look at this right here, you look at it, there's not much volume. Let me make sure it's reloaded. You look at this candle right here, right? And you see it's a massive delta here at 330, right? This checks out, but where's the volume? Where did it happen, right? You can't tell that on a single candle. Does that make sense? I can't tell where if I just look at a candle like this candle right here. How many people saw inverse, I guess, hammer here and we're like, man, let me short the crap out of it here. So here's a good example, Island. If I shorted this below here and this candle broke, and let's say most traders don't wait for a close of a candle, right? I would say they get in when it breaks.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to these people?
They got screwed.
They got screwed. Right. So when I say shelves, I like to hide behind the shelves. I see them as a shield, honestly, every time I get in. So if I was to see something like this, let's just throw it up, right? If I was to look at this, right? So let's say this POC for some reason stays here, right? I doubt that it will stay here, but let's say it stays there and we go there. Well, I'll most likely hide somewhere in the middle right here, right? If this POC is 27, I'm getting in at 28, I can afford 3 points, right? Maybe even if I want to do 4, but I don't determine only the stop loss independently of everything else. What else do I have to look at?
Maybe the footprints too will tell you if there's strong aggressive.
What's my reward, man? Can
Yeah.
you give me $100,000? The first question is like, most people that want to make money, what's in it for me from the return perspective? Right? When, way back when, in portfolio management, when you do something, you got to get something in return, whether it's IRR, whether it's ROI, NPV, payback period. You got to measure something. How am I getting my money back? If anyone watch Shark Tank?
Yep.
Like ever?
Yep.
Yeah.
The bald guy, I forgot his name, Kevin O'Leary. He just says, how am I going to get my cash back? Where's my cash? Because it doesn't matter if you have sales. It doesn't mean shit. It's almost like you guys have profits, but then you blow it up all. Where's my cash? So same thing here. If I'm doing this trade, where's my reward? Can I hit if I'm targeting, let's say the high here of this, and I'm targeting this right here, I would say that's not a bad trade, right? If you're targeting this, that's 3-1. Can you target this trade this way? Come on. It's not a trade. I mean, can you target this with some runners? Yeah, but I would say now take a look at this, right? We said hide behind the shelves. You go from here to here. I'm not going here because I really don't want to include any of this. I'm just going to the first structural low. And now you look, well, I see something, right? I see that there's a node here, right? And I would probably go somewhere like this, right? Well, now, is this trade worth it for me? I don't know, 2-1. Could I make money on this? Yes, right? But how would I position this is important, right? So maybe it's something like this if I want to make money, and then I could go under this shelf, take my profits, but then this is not good. So when you look at this and you're like, hey, Shorty, but you do these trades in split seconds, I promise eventually it will become a second nature where you see it and it's like, I'm doing this, my stop loss is here. Do I have 3-1? And it doesn't take a genius, right? In my brain, the way it works is if this is my stop loss, this square, I need 1, I need 2, and I need 3. That's how I see it, right? I immediately look at my risk and I'm like, do I have 3 times of that upside? And if I want to target this here, right? Well, what should I do with the risk? Can my risk be the same? No, I need to hide behind what? Maybe a larger shelf. Maybe this is the trade for this run here, right? But now my risk is what, 28, 23? I mean, still 7 points. And I'm looking to make 21 points. So the trade is valid. Does that make sense? You have to incorporate your probability of hitting a level. Some people are like, man, I got stopped out. And you know what their trade was? It's almost like Disneyland, right? I mean, come on. Yeah, man, I'm going long here and my stop loss is here and I'm expecting this. All right, come on. What are the odds that this is going to work? You have to be perfect on your entry. You have to have 0 drawdown and you have to catch 100 points. Think statistically. What is the probability of all 3 things happening? 0 drawdown, run 100 points, and you not get stopped out here on this shit stop loss? Probably negative. You will fail every time. And that's at least how I think about it. I think about it in terms of, are my odds with me or against me? Like today, before I, after close, did anyone notice what I did with NQ? You guys are probably asleep. Let me find NQ. Did anyone see that I took a short? You guys see the dump here? I was thinking if I hold it here, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go spend some time with the kids. I would have held it. Probably would still hold it till this level here. But this was a massive imbalance here. And look, they came in and they literally sold off. And look at the drawdown on this level here.
Yeah.
0. And now when you look at this, since you're already here, but does that give you guys a good, reasonable answer you can take back and apply something?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay. All right, well, let's take a look at this. On ES, I'm gonna hide the orders. I don't need to see them right now. So this was today, what I was showing you guys. Does everybody know what I was showing you here? I'm leaving the candles for now because it really doesn't matter for a moment. Well, let's look at the bottom here, the picture, right? Does anyone want to take a stab? Start from here to the right, because all this here, ugh, don't use it.
What, bearish engulfing?
Okay, so use delta and candles in kind of correlation and explain it.
Bearish engulfing, super negative delta, lots of volume on that first red candle, or orange candle in this case. You come down to a supply, Volume still decent there. You get like a like a stopping volume candle, but it didn't hit our supply. And then the next candle, volume's decreasing as we come down to whatever support, supply, whatever, however you want to look at it, or demand. I always mix them up. Sorry. And
This
then
is the
and then this next candle, volume's decent, and your delta is pretty positive. It's not a bad spot to long. Better to wait for a retest and hop in then. So then the next candle is almost an abandoned baby. Yeah. And then we have...
This is normal volume, just so you guys know. That's why I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
like trading during this time. I hate this.
And then, yeah, we're coming back down to that supply. And this would be your entry long on that candle, as far as I'm concerned. Retest. So on all of those candles, like we're breaking below our supply, and you want to enter when we cross back above it.
That's correct.
So yeah, and then on those candles where we have multiple green candles in a row, like you can see cumulative delta is like super green. I don't really pay too much attention to that, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's the best explanation I can give. Like, I would be going long. I would take the initial test once you break back above your supply there.
Okay.
But then, it would be a scalp. And then when we come back and the retest would be my long entry for a bigger move.
All right, good. All right, I'm giving you
Can
more
I,
data.
can I add?
So
What's
now
that? I'm
take-
sorry. You want me to
No,
go
yeah,
over
I'm
footprints?
giving you more data here now, so you can see something here. There was a trap somewhere here, right? They executed it
Mhm.
perfectly.
Yep.
Oh, I feel like it's right there. That first, so I don't 12:30 candle.
Yep.
That's your trap. You have more on the ask side, looking like they're going to take it lower, and they faked people out and then went higher. You broke through your demand.
Okay, here's a
Here
better.
we got trapped for sure.
So now take a look at this. I'm gonna circle certain points for you guys, so you guys train your eyes. Okay. Here's this. Where are we on the price action right here? Is that the even 4,300 right here?
Yeah.
Somebody's coming and trying to bring the market down aggressively, especially on this candle here. Delta's negative 3,000. This guy right here tried to push the market up and he got destroyed. He literally got smacked here. He got smacked twice. Same guy, probably. If you guys look at this right here. You see a buy side imbalance, and then look right here. You have a failed auction, and then they literally sell off. They offload everything that they bought. They give it to them. Then it keeps coming down, right? I mean, we're coming down, and you see the delta's coming down with volume. Here's your absorption happening, right? A lot less volume, new one's coming in, but you see some buyers, right? You see them buying the bottom, but still, these are all failed auctions at the moment. And you come here, and then this is where the trap happened. They trapped the shorts here, massive, selling occurred on a lot less volume, right? I mean, you're coming in here at 215, and they started selling here, and this guy came in aggressively, start to sell off, and look at this. Just draw a line at the bottom of the low of the day, which was here, right? And look what happens. They come in here, and this was crucial for me. This is where everything signaled in my head. Whoa. And I was live, and I said, hey, if we're able to clean this up, we're gonna run. Did I say that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And look exactly what they did. I mean, just think logically. I'm trying to go lower. Now, when you take this guy out, and I said above this POC, I think it was actually 4306. It was here. I said if you crack this 4306, the 306 was also the range of the previous week value area low to 308. If you guys remember, I said if you crack this, you're gonna take off. And then look what happens. You had a double POC here on 15 minutes. You had a buyer here. This is 9-to-1 trade here. I believe 9 times 5. Yeah, it's a very aggressive buying. They had a completed auction, and they're telling you this auction is coming to an end. And how many completed auctions you had at the bottom here? Just look. It's the first one. And then they came and they were not able to auction below it. So what does that tell you? Hey, we're done. We're not going lower. And then they're able to reclaim it. And then you see, right? Look at the delta picking up. Then you had, 345, had a massive green candle here. And, here's the story right now. You're trying to, if you're able to crack over that level right here, there's a high chance you're going to push higher, right? And all you have to do is kind of look at the zoom out and see where are the sellers, right? Where were they sitting? And look, let's just highlight these guys that killed this couple of guys here. And what a surprise where we rejected. So what do you think we have to do tomorrow?
Break that.
You have to break that. You have to absorb these guys that were sitting there aggressively. And then the price, just pay attention, has a high chance to go probably hit 43.40. Does that ring a bell? 0.75 away, which would match somewhere around here. What I said, 43.38. This one's 25. So very close, right? So you can play these scalps right here, but the big move will happen right here because once you crack this, look at the delta here on the right. What do you have?
Guinea belly.
Yeah.
You have nothing on selling,
Nothing.
guys. Is there a chance? I mean, look at this here. This happened at 3 a.m. here, right? This is the sell-off that they had from the value area. So it's not like these guys came in selling with volume. I think they were setting it to sell for cheaper price. They scared everyone. I mean, they sold off at negative 300 delta here. Right. So I think they were testing the market here, right? They were like, oh, let's see how far is there demand for it. They're like, yep, let's bring it back down. They scared the hell out of the people with this candle. And then you see here, you go from negative, 8,000 to positive 2,000 delta immediately. And then just pay attention to this buyer on this candle here. Highlight it and look what happens. Where's the takeoff?
Looks like a decent short right now on NQ.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I haven't looked at NQ yet. So where would you guys go along here on the pullback? Any level?
43.15. 43.15.
I don't think that level is gonna change. I mean, so this, if we crack this level, guys, we're gonna fly. We're flying most likely to 60.
That would be a great level to get in on the retest. Is at 30.
Oh yeah, 30 is great.
If you don't get that, then a retest of 16 or 15 would be good for a long. Right in that area, 18 to 15.
So even if you remove everything, right, and you just look at this, and let's say you go and you highlight this section. I'm ignoring that morning session because it's just there's a bunch of shit. There's nothing useful there.
Oh, so that's how you use that? You just use the rectangle tool and then you right click and choose delta?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. And you see here, I mean, the buyers are stepping in. If we crack this level, man, it's off to the races. And how many people swung puts based on the action today? I'm not saying that we can't go down. I'm just telling you there's a high chance if they crack this level, we're going to explore 55, that 50 to 55 area quick.
Can you do that again?
Yeah. So there's a little thingy here, right? You just draw it. It's basically a fixed volume.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the custom profile.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, for some of you guys, I mean, that are crazy scalpers, right? You could do this in 1 minute, but don't do it on 1 minute after hours. You have to use like 5.
Yeah, I like 5.
See what's going on, you little shit.
It was
knew
actually a
something.
great day, man.
That's why it was not showing right for me.
Yes, there's something now.
Make sure they're through.
You're shorting. If you're shorting here, good luck.
Drew was calling a short at like 89. It's already 77.
Yeah, it
Oh,
played
no.
out. It played out.
That wasn't.
Yeah, but yeah, I would not short this ES till they lose 20 here.
No, NQ was retesting the August value area low. That's what it was, and it dumped from there pretty quick.
Well, here's NQ if you guys care for NQ.
Yeah.
11.
Alright, so on ES, while this one loads, the value area low on TPO is 16. What a surprise.
Mm.
And if you guys go here and merge this, you see the 20. Let me merge this here. You guys are looking at 18 to 20 is going to be a decent buy zone on this. And you see them right now. The red line just tells me the midpoint of the whole range. So I know where's the 50% fib for the day. That's what this little red dots mean right here. Okay, so now you're seeing that this level is fairly important for them. If they're able to crack below this 18, you know, most likely we can go back to the magical 07, 08 level, which is also your PV value area low. So right now you're basically in the range. And if you're able to, I say, crack this, you know, you see that the volume is really nicely distributed. When you have a distribution that's as good as this, if you have any poor highs or poor lows on your data, right here, you have a P shape. It's not normal and typical, you know, that you're gonna test these here quickly. On trend days, it takes more time than on regular days. Can you guys conceptualize why?
I'm sorry, what was the question, Shorty?
In the trend day, why are the odds lower to retest the high, poor lows or poor highs versus like a perfect D shape?
Because you don't have any support or resistance to like get a bounce or a rejection from. And then, hang on, I'm trying to make sure I'm understanding your question correctly.
So when you have a trend day and you have a poor high or poor low, the odds are lower that you're going to retest those failed auctions. Like here, you have a failed auction. Here, you have a failed auction.
Oh, because like you have poor structure heading there, like.
And it's also you're going against the trend in both directions, whatever that is. If you're in a D shape, usually D shapes carry wider or shorter balance.
I think I'm not. I think I didn't understand your question properly. I know
Wider.
exactly what you're saying now. I'm thinking you're asking like, why wouldn't you like in it from a trend day, let's say moving up, reject down and then bounce back up. So sorry,
Well,
I'm answering completely wrong.
Yeah, no worries. But it's basically your when you have a trend day like this, right, that we had now, and you have failed auctions or poor high, poor lows. That's what they're called. You have more than, you know, TPOs here. You have 2 letters, 2 TPOs here, 2 TPOs on the bottom. That's telling you that this is a failed auction, right? That's what TPO tell you. This is failed, failed. Typically in these shapes, they're revisited the next day. Meaning if you have a good distribution, you have a consolidation type of day, you revisit those because in consolidations, you short the tops and buy the bottoms. So they're ranging in the range and they're buying, basically they're happy. When you have a trend day, that means that there's an imbalance somewhere. It means something drove this to go here, and then you have a little bit of, you know, not necessarily really bad structures here, but you have some bad structures, right? On a trend day, it's much harder now, you know, to go from here to here because you got to fight some aggressive sellers to get there. On a D shape, it's, what do I say? If you go back in your PowerPoint in the class, D shapes, you short the PD value area highs, you buy the PD value area bottoms. And that's what the weekly balance was. If you guys remember from Watchlist yesterday, did we say you're gonna you buy the top, you sell the tops, buy the bottoms?
Yep.
And you
And
do it till it doesn't work.
Yep.
You will get an idea when it gets a little bit aggressive on selling or candles increase as you approach those zones, right? So I just want to make sure you guys catch that. So right now you're in a P shape. I would say, even if you guys just look here, look at this value area here, right? So you have about 43.33. That's fairly important, but when I split these right here, you see this level here where you're rejecting right now. It's basically the value area high of this day here. And you see it was support, broke through, then came back, reject. So once you crack that 43.30, you have 43.51 pretty much with a little bit of skinny belly all the way to 40, that 38 level. And then you potentially hit this to the top. And that's just on ES. On NQ, let's see what this guy does. We'll just hide volume for a moment. Golly, again, this color just killing me. Shouldn't have done that. And there's your NQ. In ES, did I say you don't short this?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You don't short that. Why was this not a short?
Well, you had that volume load there.
Yeah, you have a ton of green delta there, and then also you have. I mean, in retrospect, now you have a completed auction at the bottom, candle before and on the
That's
current
what I was
candle.
waiting for. The only way we could have shorted this is if you came here, because this level here is going to be a magnet at one point tonight. Right now, they're bracketed to the top side here at 25.5. So now they're going to run some stops as they come here. So don't be, let's see what they do here. But right here would not be a bad short, depending on how this delta, but it's fairly green after hours here. Volume shit, but let's see what they do. They should not be, unless they pick up in volume, they should not be cracking this here right now. And there are some sellers here. You see seller here, nice and balanced. And the POC here, right, is sitting. And then you see a little bit to the left. Let me see if I can highlight it. You see this? There's your sellers with 2600 with negative 900 delta. That means almost divide this by this. That means almost half this candle was aggressive selling here. Does that make sense? So they're really aggressively selling here, and then this is your imbalance, and they haven't been able to crack it. They just kept piling on and adding. Anytime they came in this, look, negative. If they're able to crack it, changes the story. But for right now, here they are. They're coming in again. And look, this guy came in aggressively selling as well. And this is at 8 o'clock. So here they are. Pay attention just to volume now. Look what happened with the run stops. The only way they can do it is if they trigger the run stops right now. Look, here's imbalance. And somebody is getting either murdered here or something bad about to happen to him. Do you guys see what happened here?
Completed auction.
Oh, he's
somebody-
holding the candle for you guys. Come on, he was
Aggressive-
telling you to short it.
Aggressive buying.
Aggressive buying with the price going down, that means you're trapped as a buyer here.
Yep.
So he's gonna enjoy this show right now, all the way to the bottom of this one. Okay. But overall, I still think you're in a balance. You're in a weekly balance. You reclaim that you're not going anywhere until you explore about 43, 50, 55 range. And if you don't break that, 4,300 aggressively tomorrow or whenever you break it, right, needs to be pretty clear that you're going out. I don't know why NQ does this. Yeah, NQ is much better than ES here. Why do I say that anyway?
Sorry, what was the question?
Why is NQ looking stronger than ES?
I mean, I don't know about ES specifically, but
Here, pay attention to 2 days right here on ES.
Yep.
Pay attention to NQ, 2 days.
NQ didn't put in a lower low today, but
Oh,
ES
yeah.
did.
Yeah. Good
What
point.
about the value area?
It's higher on NQ than on ES.
Yeah, let's draw this POC for this day here. Let's draw this value area high for this day here. Oh, just a surprise. Where we bounced. You bounced here. Remember, what does this mean? When you leave the value area high, you go up, then you come back here. What does that mean?
It's confirmation.
Look above and fit.
No, it's your confirmation. They're looking for value. Where?
Higher.
They want it higher, guys. They're pushing to go higher. They cleaned up most likely the single prints right here. Yep. And now they're gonna target 1594. If you break 1594, we're gonna hit 15500 this week. If you break this right here, here are your levels for the rest of the week. This one, that would be about 140 points, a little bit more, and then it has a epoch at, where is this? 15.3. I would be cautious going long here. I would not be going long here. Is there a chance they can somehow magically break this? Not this week. They're gonna come to here this week. If they crack 93, they're going to 15,375. Okay, but it looks bullish actually. And they're about to run it. Delta somewhat green, but after hours shit. So they gotta crack this, come back for a retest, and then from 15.5, we're gonna hit, if you guys read the notes, we're gonna hit 1550, somewhere around here. And if they're able to kind of control that, about 1550, you hit 1596, right? So we said somewhere around here, right? You see this cluster, so it cleans up literally nicely here if they're able to hold this above tonight.
Shorty, when it's a good time for you, I'd like to talk about a tiny bit of psychological stuff really quick.
Sure.
Nothing major.
You need help mentally or?
No, not me. I just want to share stuff with the team, basically.
Yeah, go ahead.
Instead of typing it out. So, we've been talking in the Discord about, like one trade a day for 6 months and stuff like that. And Shorty will be able to attest to this as well. There was a time where Shorty was giving me, advice, like do one trade a day, do this, do that, blah, 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 blah. And I thought I was better than that. And he was telling me to journal my trades, and I'm like, oh, I don't need to journal my trades. I'm better than that. And it wasn't until I actually finally listened to Shorty and started doing the one trade a day and started journaling my trades that I actually really turned around my trading and got a million times better. And journaling and the one trade a day was literally the launching pad for that. So the one trade a day really builds the discipline and the patience. And without those, you'll never be a good trader. If you're not disciplined or patient, you're gonna overtrade. You're gonna take bad trades. All of that stuff. And then I know it can be a little bit difficult, watching me and Shorty live calling out a ton of trades and you see us win. But you have to remember both of us have established that discipline and patience, and you're seeing the end result basically. And I know, like for me, I think you guys probably are aware. Like when I trade live with you guys, like I'll call out a few trades, and then I'm like, hey, I'm done for the day. I'll stay online and I'll keep calling out trades, but I'm not taking them. And I normally will say, hey, I'm not taking this because I'm done for the day or whatever. But I just stay online to call out more trades. That way, people get either more screen time and can try to figure out like why I'm shorting or longing a specific area, and then also for people that are looking for more trades, hopefully help them find a potential spot to go long or short. And then with journaling, it's super important. It helps you really pinpoint the leaks in your trades, and helps you find weaknesses and strengths. And so when you journal, you want to be really detailed. You want to reflect on what you did correctly because you want to keep doing that every trade. And then you also want to really reflect on what you did wrong and what you can improve upon, not to the point that you're beating yourself up, but to the point that you're, like figuring out weaknesses and figuring out how you can improve those, or just, cut them out of your trading altogether. And you're only going to find that through journaling, with like a good piece of journaling software like we have on the Discord. So that's it. That's my little blurb for the night. So thanks, Shorty.
I think that's good. And, I would confirm that he was, one of the most stubborn guys ever. And he annoyed me a little bit. Everything you told him, he said, I know, and I don't need it. I know, and I don't need it. Till I took it out on him one night, and I think your son was on the call. I was pretty much honest and told him to, as a friend to friend, shut the hell up and just do it. And until he started doing it, I don't think it made a difference. And obviously, you guys see him doing pretty well now. But I think there's a lot of effort into that, whether it was mental, accepting the ego, accepting everything that you have, and putting that aside is the difference, right? And for a lot of you guys, a lot of you guys are very close, but you're fighting the demons inside of you instead of focusing on the process still and growing that accounts piece by piece, right? Like today, I took some SPX calls when I was telling you guys that there's a chance for reversal. I believe, I don't know if I took 65 or 75 calls. I don't know. SPX throws me off with the ES numbers now. But the trade was like $2 a contract. They went to 15. Do you really think I beat myself up because I made $200 instead of 12? No. Why the hell would I care? I made $200 and I was in the trade for like 7 minutes. You guys should try to make $200 outside of trading. Some of you guys really need to go do some physical labor. And if you guys are willing to fly to Georgia, Atlanta, I got plenty for you guys. And you guys will get paid peanuts. I really don't, I can't conceptualize why you guys don't think $300 a day is good money, especially if you do have a job. Even if you don't have a job, $300 is still a lot of money. People have to sweat and sweat to make that money. Okay. So C, I think your name is just C right now. C with dots, right? This is IWM, and do you guys see why we're getting a bounce?
Oh, his name's C-Dub. I don't know why you're seeing C with dots, but yeah, C-Dub.
Yeah, that's all I see, C dots, the clover.
Yeah.
Yeah, so IWM, if you just look at this profile right now, it's telling you that, where's your reward? Do you really think your reward's for shorting this right now? Probably not, right? You're coming to a POC where you basically exploded from last time. You ran from 173 to almost 200, right? You didn't make higher highs here, but you did, a nice jump. So now if you zoom in a little bit, you're kind of doing this again. Was it an aggressive, bounce that you had? I'll probably say, it was not, right? You would expect to see more, but this candle here, if you're able to crack this low tomorrow, I'll probably get out because we're going to hit 164 very soon. At 164, it's not a bad idea, dependent on the macro news, if we get any more info from these Fed speakers, right, to consider a long opportunity, right? Because if you guys look here, just, zoom out, what do you see here? Well, it was actually something like this. at that time.
Consolidation.
All right, well, let's just grab this consolidation and go to the top. Where are we? You're at the POC of that
Yeah, you're at
consolidation.
the POC.
This is your go ahead. This is your go time, right? This is not a bad idea to go grab some long. I wish this volume here in 4 hours was a little bit better than it is, but hey, can't get it all. So tomorrow, if you're able to crack here, right, this is your low. If you're able to crack in here and you catch that, man, you can play some calls out, probably play. I don't trade IWM options because they move fairly slow, but if you've traded before, you could potentially, I would look for 50% of this fall here and target that here somewhere. I would target 176. So I don't know how the options play on it, but somewhere around here would be good. Does that make sense? See? And you see some volume coming in here. Okay. All right, guys. Well, hopefully you guys got some sense out of that, and hopefully you guys have a better day tomorrow. If you had a rough day today, it was not an easy day to trade. I started off, I think, like I was 0 for, well, I had an overnight trade that had decent profits, but then I was stopped out like 4 times for like almost a total of $1,300 loss.
You and me both. Oh my gosh. It
I
was
don't know.
And I mean,
it was
maybe some of it-
rough. And then I closed the day up like almost 5.
yeah, I had enough to not trade the rest of the week.
Yeah. Oh, just really quick. I'm only gonna be on a little bit tomorrow. Just FYI, everybody.
Good. Yeah, I'll try to be in the morning. I do have a therapy for my elbow again tomorrow, so
Oh, I'll be on in the morning. Probably for
Yeah,
the
that's
first
good.
couple of hours, and then I think the next 2 days I'm not gonna be on at all. Really. We'll
you're
see.
leaving us.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a couple days with the wife and kid. So.
Yeah, good. Yeah, my kid's actually on. My kids actually they have like a fall break now, so that's Thursday, Friday as well. So I'll see if I'm gonna be around, but I'll be there probably Saturday because we have the class. And if anything changes, I'll let you guys know in advance. I have
Yeah.
to check with the lady
I'll
because
be
she
on
played
Friday for
stuff.
sure. I won't be on Thursday, I don't think. If I am, it's just going to be for like 30 minutes to an hour in the morning, but that's it. But I will be
Alrighty.
on Friday.
Yep. Awesome. Well, hopefully, guys, you're picking this stuff slowly. You're not gonna pick it up overnight. Uh, I just say be patient with everything you're seeing, and even if you just use candles and higher highs and change your character, a lot of times you're gonna get your message of what the market's doing, right? Trending up, higher highs, higher lows, consolidating, right? Honestly, it's not rocket science, but you guys freak out, the emotions come into play, and you guys are just all over the place, right? And you're not looking where you should be looking. You're focused everywhere else but what you should be doing. Right? You consolidated, now you dumped, you made a lot of lower highs, a lot of lower lows, and this is all today, right? So, how can I know where are we headed? Well, let's look at the liquidities, right? So here's you pushed above the POC, so tomorrow you potentially expect a rejection. They like to go all the way to the gap, right? They like to come back to 173 and bounce from there. But if they go over, they gap up. Where's your long? Right here. They're gonna come back.
POC.
They're gonna defend this with everything they got. You potentially catch a nice pull. And where do they go to? Well, here, just grab this then and find this POC or find this value area high, whatever this node is here. You can. Well, this one's grabbing everything. That's fine. Wow, there's a lot of volume that got sent here. I'm trying to find this level. Yeah, so somewhere around 174. So, like I said, I don't know how this moves, but if it gives you this retest, you can catch this move easy here. So it'll be something like this, right? And this is where I would, probably would close, considering there's a high volume node here, a little bit of consolidation here. This level becomes your close, and this becomes your close the longs and do what?
Short.
Short. All right, guys. Well, have a good night. Hopefully, you guys learned something. If not, just keep at it. It doesn't come overnight.
Thanks, Shorty.
Thank you, Shorty.
Thank you, Shorty.
Good night,
Thank you.
everybody.
Later, everyone.
Thanks, Rockets.
No problem. See you guys tomorrow.